Hello, everyone, and this is it. This is the grand finals of the Sunbros tournament. We have, it says player 1 and player 2 over there, but we have Platypus Slayer 1 versus LFS in the grand finals. This is a best of 7 series, and we are going to get right underway. We have player 1, which is LFS. He is going to be playing the United States as we will, oops, sorry about that. We'll do that. We'll turn that on for you. And on the other side of the map, we have Platypus Slayer playing Portugal on the map Niger Delta. This is a pre-selected map. The first game of this series, best of 7, is a pre-selected map. It is Niger Delta. The way the Civ selection works, if you are unfamiliar now, is the only Civ selection criteria is that if you win with a Civ, you cannot play that Civ for the next 3 games. So Niger Delta, a very water-oriented map. You've got a huge portion of the resources on this in this delta, I suppose. So lots of fish to be had, lots of resources on the water, which is good for Portugal over here, which is a very resource-intensive civilization and loves to go on water and is strongest on water. So we're going to go over... God, this is so confusing. It says player 2. I know. Okay, this is Plat. His perspective. He is going to do, looks like a 14-vil age up. And we will take a look at his deck real quick. Never mind, he hasn't selected it. We're going to go over to player 1. LFS. Take a look at his deck. It's a 1v1 coin push. Really interesting deck here. He's got all 4 of the immigrants cards. Going to ship Chinese immigrants so he gets the early trade route, which makes sense. And then after that, maybe send... He's not chopping wood, so it won't send French. Maybe he sends Spanish immigrants for the tercios. That would be another guess. But we're going to have to see how this unfolds. This is a coin push, so he's got... he's got... I'm expecting a lot of coin from him. But we will see. We're going to hop over to Platypus Slayer's perspective and take a look at his deck's Port Water. So this seems pretty standard. He's got all the water cards. He's got 2 caravels so that he can help defend his water. And we've got a little bit of a battle right here. Platypus Slayer not doing a good job keeping his Explorer at high health and is going to be chased all the way back to his base more than likely. Yeah, that certainly looks to be the case. Let's see if... No, I cannot. Never mind. I wanted to pop open the chat, but I don't know that I can, so never mind. Plat's going to go down. USA is now taken 2 trade posts with the Chinese immigrants. We're going to pop back over to LFS. Actually, we're going to stick here on Ports real quick because Ports is aging. I just noticed he is aging with the Quartermaster. 400 wood going to be coming down. The dock going to be coming down. Probably going to build a second dock and a couple of houses with the 400 wood from his age up, as we'll pop over to LFS, who is also aging with Pennsylvania. I am not a very proficient USA player at all, so I couldn't tell you at all what Pennsylvania gets, but we will be able to take a look at his deck once he does age up. Plat is significantly ahead in terms of aging, and we'll get there right there. Town center dropping in. There's another house. Drop in the town center... An interesting location. I would almost put it by this grove of trees up here to defend the water a little bit better, but that is not what we're going to see. 2 shipments now banked up for Plat here, or for LFS. Pardon me. We'll see what he sends when he gets to age 2. Very interesting to have all these age 1 cards and only send 1. So we're going to have to pay attention to him. He's got those 2 shipped up. Does not have a second dock out. Plat does, but has got 4 villagers, and we're going to hop over to him real quick. Actually not gathering any wood either. So 700 wood coming in. That makes a little bit of sense there. Has sent schooners. I imagine we'll send town militia fairly quickly. We're going to hop over to LFS now, who has hit age 2 and immediately sent Virginia General Assembly for the Capitol wagon, and then Philadelphia Convention. So he gets Philadelphia and the Tammany Festival, so Native Embassy Travois, maybe doing some kind of natives with the rush here, but has not allied with anybody yet. Ships 1 meeting house wagon, provides your meeting house with unique federal state. Okay, so that's like the advanced church card, it would appear. So we've got a barracks and 5 sharpshooter or 5 state militia coming out. State Capitol wagon probably going to be dropped somewhere forward for LFS. Philadelphia Convention is coming in, and he's going to come in and try and get some raids. Yep, there's a state capitol going forward, and these state militia are going to come and try and harass here. We do see a second dock coming down for sorry, God, this is so confusing with the player names just being player 1 and player 2. Plat gonna ship 700 coin behind this now, and Plat is going to turtle to his heart's content and see what happens here. Now, the interesting thing about that LFS is going to have to contend with here is that he can't really completely idle the Portugal economy because he's on water. Now, if we hop over to his perspective real quick, he doesn't even know that Plat is on water right now. He will find out here in just a moment as he comes around, but as soon as you... Oh, no, maybe not. As soon as you see that your opponent's on water, you may be in trouble if you can't counter this. And obviously, with the 2 town centers, and I'm imagining a outpost going up soon, this base is going to be really hard to get into. Oh, let's play it at regular speed now. Sorry about that. And so now we've got some regulars. So 5 sharpshooters, or 5 state militia, 5 regulars, and an explorer. Plat going to lose 1 Vil, and that's it. Doing a really good job, actually, of keeping all his herds right under his town center. Shipping Minutemen, probably going to end up shipping town militia. Yep, there it is. To really do a good job of fending off these raids. Plat completely on food and coin. 30 Vils on food, 6 Vils on coin. Going to be aging up to 3 here. Really briefly in just a moment. Let's see it. There it is. Aging with the exiled prince to age up fast. So we're going to hop back over to LFS, who is now sending long rifles. Appears to be going coin heavy, going with the state militia. Convinced that that is going to be what is going to solve the game, is to win him this game. No thought about going to age 3. Is now sending Tammany Festival with the Travois. Going to snipe another villager here. Going to snipe 2 villagers. But again, you know, Plat is on... We're going to hop over to him. He's on 13 fishing boats that can't be idled. He is sieging, getting this dock siege down. But he's hit age 3 now and is going to drop that town center up here and really just try and turtle this out. He's going to be building a house, now training musketeers, which may not be the right answer to this push here. We'll see LFS consistently going to be sending regulars and sharpshooters to try and do some damage here. Perhaps we could see Platypus do another CM pop 10 Vils in his town center and start doing some damage that way. But right now he's just content to sit around and mass some units. There's the CM pop. And this may end up being a wipe. Yep. So there it is. There's the CM. He's going to pop with the increased damage and from the town center and chase away LFS here. These CM do increase damage too, and there's really nothing that LFS can do at this moment. Plat now sitting on an extra shipment. We're going to hop over to LFS's perspective, who has taken the entire trade line now and is getting all his resources from that. So pretty good in terms of eco-wise, 21 vils. Plat is on 40 vils, but again, the entire trade line is in control of LFS. Yes. So he's getting quite a lot of res that way. So we're going to watch over here real quick. 5 regulars, and I think he's just going to want to keep pushing in. It seems like he's going to come up here and fend off this trade post from the CM, who are starting to lose health. There's a few of them. Oh, there's some musketeers in there that aren't losing health. The militia are just going to die at a one shot as he's pushing in. So this seems to be a big part of LFS's strategy, is taking this whole trade line and just trying to be annoying and take map control. And has done a pretty good job of that so far. Another big battle coming on. Now, it is important to remember that Platypus does have now 3 town centers and can pop CM 3 times. Already popped it out of this one. I don't think he's popped it out of this one. We will see. I'm not exactly sure how many vils he has in there, but they are going to do increased damage. We're going to pop back over here now and take a look at this battle. The regulars getting chased off by more CM, Colonial Militia, and they're going to, I think, maybe siege this trade post down. Plat is just going to annoy the crap out of LFS and turtle up and just sit there and not do anything, gather up all the natural res, and try and force LFS to do something with this. And right now, LFS still an age behind. So he can't get... Yeah, so veteran Cassador starting to be trained by Platypus Slayer now, who sees this and is going to let some units go down here. But being an age behind is not a good place to be if you're in LFS's shoes, because eventually, especially, you know, Plat is on twice the amount of villagers. So yes, you've got a stagecoach trade line, but you're down twice the villagers and you have not contested the water at all. At this point, you don't even really want to, because I feel like, at least for me, the water is just, you've lost the water at this point. You could potentially send, we're going to hop over to his deck real quick. He doesn't have anything to contest the water, so we'd have to make a dock and have to make some caravels in order to contest the water. So that's just a whole bunch of free vills right here that you can't do anything about. The Hussar are going to be hopping on the organ guns here. Plat left them a little bit exposed, and the organ gun's going to go down to the Hussar. The inspiring flag going to come in and give all LFS's troops a boost here. The Hussar are going to go down. These musketeers in melee getting on the carbine cavalry, and the veteran Cassadors are sniping away against this huge mass of regulars and state militia. This is a pretty big loss for Plat, I think, who has some reinforcing musketeers. But beyond that, really has no army to speak of, still focusing entirely on economy. And very interestingly, we have the opposite version, we have the opposite focus for LFS, who is still not aging up at all, has no ideas to do so, has 1,300 coin in the bank, 800 wood in the bank, and potentially could sell that wood and buy his way up to an age up, or just transition all of these trade posts over to, he's got 1 on coin, 2 on wood, and 2 on coin actually, and 2 on wood. So we're going to have to pay attention to what he's doing here. We're going to see what else he's sent. So he has now sent French immigrants and is sending all his H2 cards. Lee's Legion is the Carbine Cavalry, which he has here. And the Cassadors here should be able to deal with both the Carbine Cavalry and the regulars here. So not a good engagement for LFS to be taking. I'm going to go back over to Plat and see exactly what he's doing. His eco is in full swing here. He's going to have to hop on mills eventually as natural resources run out. There are some natural resources in the north, but that is completely controlled. Native settlements being controlled by LFS here. Another organ gun going to come out, and Plat is insistent on taking this trade post. Just to harass, just to annoy, and see what LFS is going to do. Now, the way this game is shaping up, this is going to be a long and drawn-out battle between these two civilizations and these two players. As you might expect from these two players that have really dominated their respective ladders. Plat coming through the winner's bracket, and LFS coming through the loser's bracket, but this is going to be a complete wipe for LFS here. You might be able to push into the base now and try and do some damage. So we'll see what he does here. Maybe another organ gun to deal with this, but you got to deal with these Hussar first. So Plat has popped villagers in this town center. So he will be able to snipe some of these troops now. There's the conscription and there's the levy, so this is going to be a huge pop of Minutemen, all essentially at the same time. I think. Did he pop those? No. Oh, he's just building up units down here. Okay, so looks like he's fully sacrificed this town center. Says, I don't need it. I've got 2 already. He's got an outpost up here. And we're just he's gonna be content to let this sit. He's gonna lose a villager. Will not lose a villager. Yes, he will. Okay. There's the conscription pop with the town center on 300 HP. Huge pop from Platypus Slayer here, completely chasing LFS out of the base between the CM, the Cassadors, the Hussar pops, and now sending 1,000 coin behind this. This mass came out of nowhere and is going to completely wipe up LFS. Very well done by Platypus Slayer to not fall into, I guess, a trap of, oh, I'm in trouble because I do this. He literally waited till his town center was on 300 HP, and then he called everybody, lulling LFS into a false sense of security. And, of course, with his eco, the town center is being built back up, repaired immediately. Now he finally has free reign to take this trade post down. Does have only 1 organ gun. And is about, I'd say, a little bit over halfway through fishing out all the water here. More Carbine Cavalry being made by LFS. We're going to hop over to his perspective and see exactly what he's doing. He's still committed to age 2. It's a very interesting decision. I would think that you would want to get to age 3 at this point because your units are just going to end up being outclassed. We're going to pop over to Plat's deck real quick. He does have gunpowder infantry. He's got the dragoon combat. He's got everything he needs to just completely outclass his opponent here in terms of military. Coming back to this town center now, trying sieging it down, probably just now realizing that it has been repaired and going to run away and get pinched between the town center and all of this mass from Platypus Slayer here. All the Hussar are going to die immediately. This mass is mostly Cassadors and organ guns being fought by Akan Akinoba, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, which is a musketeer type unit from the native embassy, and Carbine Cavalry. So unable to keep his mass alive. There's another pop of militiamen. And at some point, Platypus is going to have to do something. He can't sit here and turtle the entire game. I suppose you can, but at some point, you're going to have to do something because Plat, LFS is just going to keep making units and keep pushing you, and eventually you're going to let him get to age 3. Which, once LFS gets to age 3 and has tied you for age, you've got a little bit of a problem, because then he can start upgrading his units, then he can really take advantage of the fact that he has more presence on the map. As you can see, the line of sight from Plat here is entirely contained on his little section of the map, versus if we go over to LFS here, you can see he literally can see the other 2/3 of the map. The only map that he cannot see is the water, which Plat does control if we hop back over to his perspective here. So we're going to turn Fog of War off as another big engagement goes down, and everybody's just wiping each other off the face of the earth. I think a good thing to do potentially would be to make some Hussar for Platypus and push in and maybe get some raids going. He's going to wipe these Carbine Cavalry off the face of the earth, take this trading post down, as we actually... No, never mind. I'm on Mother Nature. That is dumb. I'm smart. Please ignore me. Professional cast here. Very highly professional cast. Never get stuck on Mother Nature when spectating at games. That is your pro tip of the day. Trade post going to go down. Plat may have ideas to take that. Going to try and push the other trade post. USA still not... Or he has finally hit age 3 and is sending New Hampshire factory wagons. So this is the point where Plat has to be careful, because now that he's age 3, these are going to be veteran regulars, and obviously the fort coming in. So, or not the fort, the factory coming in. And really, I think the tide is going to start swinging in the United States civilization's favor here, unless Plat can do anything to slow down LFS, who has taken all 3 of the 4 trade posts and all 3 native sockets. I think there's, oh no, there's 4. So Plat is doing exactly that, trying to seize back some map control, go in, and has now taken 2 uncontested trade routes from LFS, who's just going to sit here. And another interesting to think about now that it's just come to my mind is LFS could hypothetically rush age 4 and do a trade monopoly, mass some units, and sit there and force Plat to do something, who is on 102 to 51 villagers. So really good job from Platypus Slayer here of just getting his eco in order and holding off the rush, and waiting until he can literally spam units as fast as he wants. As I say that now, and Plat is going to age 4 and going to regain the age lead, and is now taking trade posts of his own. You can just see, if you look at the resource, how fast. Let's see, 8, 9, 17, 2200 res per minute, and then we go over to player 2 is getting literally over 2200 res in just food income. So out gathering his opponent in one resource type, which is kind of insane. LFS may be looking to go on some raids here. We do have some gold mines in the north, 2 of them. So it's important to take control of those as players do start to run out of natural resources. Plat is now on mills. LFS has been on mills for a while. There are some berry bushes up here, but berries obviously not ideal. Same base gather rate as mills, and you can upgrade the mills. We're going to hop over here and see that Plat is thinking if he wants to push or not. Obviously, this huge mass from the state capital, the line of sight can be seen from the state capital. So Les is well aware that this mass is here. and is deciding just to not do anything about it. I don't think Platypus Slayer here knows. He does know the state capital is here, and that is what we're waiting for. We were waiting for some mortars. You get the age advantage, you hit the mortars, and you just start sieging down the base. LFS now swinging around to try and get some raids in. Plat now on 108 villagers, 4 town centers, and popping in to the base, seeing obviously the raids come in well in advance just from all the line of sight that he has from Age 4. Probably has the church upgrades as well. So we're going to hop over here and we see a covered wagon coming out. The state capital wagon is down, but these mortars are going to be advancing. We're going to come back over here and see where the action is happening. That was a house and a couple of villagers going down, or maybe that was an outpost trying to grab control of this coin mine. LFS going to be trying to siege down more trade posts. Interesting decision, I must say, as you really want to try and get into Plat's eco at this point, because the eco 105 villagers, so we lost 3 villas in that raid. Very good from LFS here to get the Hussar on the Castador. We do have some goons here to take care of the Hussar, and it looks like that will be happening. The mass of Plat just seems to be kind of big. We do have these veteran regulars. The Castador have been upgraded to guard, though. So, despite the mass being smaller, these are higher value units now. We see now the Castador are going to be chased out from the town center. Town center going to be putting some fire on. And over here we see the mortars are just doing work. Plat content to sit here and rely on his town center's turtle. There's conscription. The CM pop is just going to end up wiping these along with the guard Hussar. It is looking worse and worse for LFS as this game goes on, unable to crack the shell of this very efficient Portuguese turtle. Going to get completely wiped out here. And these mortars are eventually going to go down to some veteran regulars here. But that is the wipe in Platypus's base, who is going to sacrifice these mortars, who obviously can't attack units. But we do see now a massive score gap as heavy cannons. Plat is an age up. He's got the heavy cannons. He does have one of his factories out. Has not sent the other one. We'll send it probably here really shortly. And pretty much at this point, I think Plat just has to push in and start sieging things down. I won't say the game is over yet, but you see Plat feeling very confident in his ability to hold off LFS on the front lines here with this forward estate. Horse artillery obviously going to be making a huge impact as 3 villagers go down, 5 Hussar being trained, and Plat is not even off water yet. Hasn't finished destroying the local fish economy. We're 28 minutes into this game, and there's still plenty of fish. There's still several thousand resources worth of fish on the water, as well as these whales who provide an infinite source of coin. Plat just swimming in resources. We hop over to LFS here, who is the exact opposite. Only 156 food in the bank. Can't really can't mass out units as fast as his opponent can. And really, I mean, I don't know what his way back into this game is, to be completely honest with you. I think at this point you can just right click the base. This town center is going to go down as soon as the horse artillery or the heavy cannons get in range. We're going to hop over to his perspective here. These heavy cannons, 28 range right now, so they have to scoot in a little bit further. And more. Okay, so we're just waiting on the mortars. This is going to be a battle of the mortars. What do we have up here? Nothing, just some villagers. Okay. Yeah, so I gotta say, the value that you get from just being on the water, especially on this map, is huge. This is a very, very good map for ports, and it is being showcased right here. This town center is going to go down. LFS going to be content again to do the same thing that Plat did to him and sit back and mass units as fast as he can. Granted, he is on... Well, he's up to 70 villagers now, so he's catching up. But I think at this point, yes, 52k score lead. These Gatling guns are going to do something, but the heavy cannons are just going to take them out. And the mortars, all at the same time, are just sitting back, relaxing, and popping shots off at the Springfield Armory, at the Native Embassy, at anything they can get their line of sight on. I will say LFS is doing a good job of pushing back, is now massing Gatling guns to deal with the massive Cassador that he has seen from his counterpart, which is a pretty good decision. Obviously, you know, you're down 10k score, you're down a whole age, and it looks like he is trying to macro for the age up now that he is on 70 vills. He's caught up a little bit in terms of resources gathered and gather rate. And Plat maybe getting a little bit too comfortable. Thought maybe that push would end it, but the Gatling guns came back. Gatling guns are going to hop on anything that they can see and just shred any and all infantry that they come across. So Plat is going to need to find a way to counter this. He's training. There's a bunch of a big batch that looks like at least 15 musketeers. He's gonna have these Hussar try and hop on the Gatlings. One Gatling gonna go down. Nope, one Gatling left on 3 health. Never mind. Maybe a shift click issue. I've been having quite a lot of shift click bugs recently. I don't know why. Very good defense again, as now 3 Culverins coming out. 4 Culverins, pardon me, to wipe up this mass. Plat losing about 8 to 10 villagers in that engagement, but holding off very well. Neither of these players willing to give any quarter. Okay, there we go.
Yes.
LFS is finally getting his town centers, plural. I guess he had this one up. Is finally going to be on the coin res up here, taking all advantage of all this, getting a second town center up on 74 villagers after getting a town center deleted, and I think only having one for the longest time here. Difference, of course, being that the water still has not been fished out. We're getting awfully close. I think this is the last. Oh no, that's Wales. So Plat is going to have to start deleting fishing boats here soon in order to train more villagers. Not that that's an issue, having 1,500 res saved up. And we do see an age 4 coming in, California coming in for LFS. And that gets him the 2 factories, the Bear Flag Revolt, and California Gold Rush. Another big engagement. We're going to see how LFS deals with this. The Hussar are going to hop on the Gatling guns. Still only veteran regulars compared to age 4 Legionario Musketeers. The Culverin's going to be doing work. This is a huge wipe. This is something that we have yet to see in this game. Generally speaking, both players have done a very good job of defending their base, but in this instance, Plat has finally cracked the shell, I think. He's really just doing a good job of pushing in, avoiding, unfortunately, wasn't able to get that outpost down, maybe more concerned with military production buildings, which is fair. LFS now spamming outposts from his state capital, trying to force Plat back. Unfortunately, these are not upgraded outposts. He could upgrade them, but it would take a while. And at this point, we're going to see, I think, if we hop over to player 2 LFS, or Platypus Slayer, more Legionario Musketeers swimming in res still. 103 villagers. Has another outpost. 2 more outpost wagon pop out. I think Plat at this point should start. I think he should start just training mortars, horse artillery, heavy cannons, and really put the pressure on LFS here. He does have a somewhat dwindling army here. Again, he could push in and start building some barracks up here. That would be a good call if you ask me, and really start producing units out of everywhere. Military units as fast as he can. He's got now nearly 30k score lead on his counterpart here. These these Yoruba are going to come in on the Cove and wipe them out with a pop of veteran Hussar at the same time. These Cove not really doing anything other than shooting some buildings in the background, so I think it might have been a good idea to save those and mass up a little bit more, because you see the Yoruba and the Hussar just completely die out. Am I on Mother Nature? I am on Mother Nature. We're going to hop back over to player 2. Pardon my mad scrolling around the map here. And there's not much else to say here. I think this game is going to be over in just in a few moments. I mean, LFS still only on 70 villagers, despite having now 3 town centers up in the north, and no res saved up. Only 300 food, 800 wood, and 450 coin. He's gonna try and get some. Oh, that's what he's doing. Look at that. So he has upgraded the outpost to Frontier and is coming in for some raids here. Pretty clever play, I guess. Both players age 4 now. We knew that with the California Gold Rush. I will say that with the Bear Revolt, with the pet Grizzly, that could be one way to turn this game completely around. Unfortunately, while he's raiding Plat's base, he is also being raided. The factory gonna go down potentially as we keep watching the action unfold here. Game 1 of the Sunbros 1v1 tournament finals. This is a best of 7. Winner of this game unable to play that Civ for the next 3 games. Or the next 2 games, sorry. So the winner of this game will be locked out of their respective Civ until age 4. I'm on Mother Nature again. I really got to stop that. This Hussar going to be chased off by some guard regulars. And I just think at this point you need to make artillery if you're Platypus Slayer. And you have to, if you're USA, you may consider doing a revolt here. Granted, you don't have the resources for it. You need 1,000 of every resource, which you don't have right now, but that could be your only way back into this game. We're going to see some raids here, which Plat does not care about. He's going to hop in the town center and end up killing those. More outposts coming in. LFS wanting just to litter the map with outposts and just make life difficult for Platypus Slayer, who is still not making artillery. I think it's a good call to get the mortars out and just sit back and siege. I mean, you've done work to done work to your opponent's main base, and you've really forced him back with the mortars to begin with. And I think that's something that you should carry on doing if you're Platypus Slayer here. Finally going to deal with these raids. Still over 100 villager population. And These Legionario Musketeers are just going to be a nuisance. It's a giant musk battle with a few Husmiths mixed in. And you just got to give it to the player that has the better eco. These now heavy cannons instead of horse artillery. I don't know if they get horse artillery, actually. They might. What am I doing? I'm looking for an artillery foundry. They do have horse artillery, so Plat can train them. Deciding not to. Gonna go siege down Sam's Speakeasy. You cannot get your drinks at Sam's. Sam's is closed until further notice. Need to do some repairs to Sam's. May he actually be burned down in the fire. There it goes. Heavy cannon's going to come in, siege this extra town center here, and the massive Legionario Musketeers just grows. The score lead is growing now, 24,000 score difference. Plat sitting on 200 pop and just waiting for these Musketeers to die at this point so he can remass them. Has run out of food, interestingly, not on enough farms. More raids coming in as LFS is just desperately trying to find his way back into the game, and I guess raids would be the way to do it. For sure, but at this point, too little too late, I think. These Legionario Musketeers are not going anywhere. LFS down now on 88 population, and GG is called. Plat turtles his way to a Game 1 victory. Well played to both teams, dragging this battle out 41 minutes of bloodbath. Let's see if we can't pull these two players into the channel. We're seeing this live, by the way. We'll pull these guys into the channel and get their opinion on how the game went. Hi. How are you doing? You've been pulled into the casting channel now to talk about how what a turtle, first of all. Sitting there, letting your town center get to 320 health before fighting it out. And Les did a really good job of just trying to force you off. But give me your initial thoughts, both of you, on how this game went. I think it was a very well played game from both teams.
I think I played defense A and offense F. I didn't do a good job with offense. I'm just crushing on cannon so used to. I forgot Portugal has 0 siege. So it was I could defend my base all day, but then I couldn't push. But I think I had the water advantage early, and that was a bigger advantage than the ATP line. And I think that's what carried me.
I tend to agree with that statement. We were 21 minutes into the game, and you still had probably 3,000 res left in the pond uncontested. LFS, good job applying pressure. Unfortunately, you were unable to crack the turtle. No comments.
He
might be muted. Let's see if I can unmute him. Where are you, LFS? There you are. He's muted. He's server muted. Sorry. So same question, comment. You just unable to crack the turtle?
I was on the back foot as soon as he reached H3 with those counter pushes. I thought I would have more of an advantage, but the water boom gave them pretty good mass.
Yeah, I cannot discount the water mass, and a majority portion of the game, I think Plat was up at least double the villagers. It was 50 to 100 at one point. It was 40 to 20 at another. Well played to both of you. We're gonna hop into
most unit lost. Yeah, baby.
we're gonna hop, I think, right into game 2. LFS, you have the map selection. We will get into that once we get to the game. Plat, you are unable to play Portugal until game 4. Good luck to both of you in game 2, and we will see you there.